welcome to At Home today. Hope it's going to be a really good day for you. And if it hasn't, tomorrow is another chance. And tomorrow will be better. Today we have a really special guest. For a lot of reasons, Greg Antonelli is a very special guest. Number one, he's a friend. Number two, he's my husband's boss, which really makes him a very special friend. And number three, he is an excellent cook. He's been on before and you've always enjoyed him. In fact, he told me that when he was on one of the other times, people from Chicago called the restaurant to make reservations. They were coming into the area and they wanted to come and enjoy the food. And I'm going to tell you, if you haven't been to Woody's lately, you got to go because they've redone the dining room. It looks so nice, and the food, new menus, and the specials, just incredible. One of the best places to eat in Pittsburgh. So we're going to give a telephone number later on maybe that you'll be able to make some reservations if you're coming to Pittsburgh. I know I'm talking to the country, but that's all right. Before we get started with Greg, and I have to tell you, he's making something that we all would like to know how to make. Prime rib of beef. Paul's favorite, best place he likes it is Woody's. And he makes it so simple you're going to want to make sure you take down the instructions. So stick with us here. But first, let me read this letter from Nancy. She says, your show really makes a difference. I have been watching At Home since the very beginning, which is a lot of years, like about 11. And I have your cookbooks and also all of your newsletters. I have made a lot of your recipes. Thanks for being there. It's our pleasure. God has given you a unique gift, sort of like a Mr. Rogers for grown-ups. That is so neat. What a compliment. I can't think of anything else that would be more of a compliment because I love Mr. Rogers. He nurtured a lot of us growing up. Well, get ready because when we come back, Greg Antonelli is in the kitchen right here on At Home today making prime rib of beef. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be right back in just a minute. Here's today's At Home hint. Spray your plastic containers with non-stick cooking spray before filling with tomato-based sauces, and there won't be any stains. Easy cleanup also.
If you have an at-home hint, a favorite recipe, or just a friendly greeting you'd like to share, we'd like to hear from you. Post it in the comments of this video or visit our Facebook page.
When I tell you prime rib is good anytime, it is especially good around holidays. We all know for Christmas, but how about an idea for Easter? We're going to show you how to do it today. So simple. And it's my pleasure to introduce Greg Antonelli. Oh, it's so good to see you.
Pleasure.
As always.
I love doing your show.
Is this about 3 times?
Yeah, about third or fourth time, yeah.
Wow. And every time you come, you make something so good that none of us think we can make it, but he shows us that we can.
Well, that's what I love about doing your shows because we both have such a great love of food, and it's fun.
It shows,
makes
doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I know that, like Paul, you know how Paul feels about your prime rib.
Sure.
He tells everybody his is the best, and it is. I mean, if you like prime rib, go to Woody's. But there are certain things that we have to know to buy the right kind of meat and what to do with it.
Sure.
Okay, talk us through this. Now, this is what?
Yeah, that's a prime rib of beef, deboned.
Deboned.
Weighs about 12 pounds. It has a fat cap still intact.
Now that's what this layer of fat here is.
That's what that layer is here.
Fat cap,
Sure.
okay.
If you look at the other side, you could see where the actual bones were.
Oh, this is where the bones were.
That's where the bones were.
Would that be like the rib bones?
Sure, exactly.
Okay. So right in here.
Sure. If you're doing a standing prime rib, you would leave the bones on.
Right.
But we debone it.
Okay.
Okay. We get it in that way, actually.
Now this is 12 pounds?
12 pounds. They average around 12 pounds, 12,
Now
13
how
pounds.
many people would a 12-pound roast like this feed?
Well, you're going to lose shrinkage as you cook it.
Sure.
So this would feed 12 to 15 people.
Really?
Sure, yeah.
And
if you're going to do maybe a 10-ounce, 12-ounce serving.
Yeah, because too much is too much.
Sure, yeah, exactly.
And when it's this good, you want to savor it, and you don't need a whole big...
Except for Paul. Paul can eat a pretty
Paul.
nice piece.
You have to keep bringing up Paul. But anyway, okay, now I know that there are certain ways you have to season this to get the best flavor out. Sure. First of all, when I bring this home from my butcher, and I ask my butcher to take the bone out, and what do I do when I bring it home?
The first thing you want to do before you prep it is wash it well with cold water and then dry it.
Right underneath the sink?
Right underneath the sink, sure. Get all that blood off, yeah. Any piece of meat, you want to get all that old blood off.
Especially the beef and
sure,
stuff. Sure,
yeah, get it nice and clean and then pat it dry.
Pat it dry. We don't want moisture here.
Pat it dry, exactly.
All right, then what do we do?
Now what we're going to do is we're going to spike it with some fresh garlic cloves, okay? And what we do is you want to take little slits and you want to cut underneath the fat cap
But
not into the meat. Exactly, not
Okay.
into the muscle, right into the skin. You just take it like that, and you take your garlic.
A whole clove of
Whole
garlic.
clove of garlic. Yeah. Now
Ooh,
you're going to
baby.
use the recipe calls that I wrote is for 10 to 15 cloves of garlic.
Okay.
So it's pretty much a whole
Well, you
head.
can see if you did 5, 5, and 5.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
15.
It's pretty much a whole head.
Okay, you said you had a real quick, easy way
Yeah.
on
If
how
you
to
want
do
to,
this.
this is a good tip. If you want to take a whole clove of garlic and clean it, just turn it upside down and just push on it.
Roll on it.
Just, yeah. Just roll it, and it just comes
It
all
separates
nice
them all.
apart. Yeah. And then
Look
what
at
you
that.
could do is, if you have a chef knife or a cleaver, just take the flat end of the knife, and you just
Okay.
want to put a little pressure on it, and that just pops right out.
Can you believe
And it's
it?
clean.
And how
And
many
then you can
times you
take
sit
that,
there?
and then you
And
just
that's one of them you use?
sure you just stuff it right in there.
Wow.
Okay. Also, what
So
you can do is
simple.
stuff a little fresh rosemary in there too.
So you put that.
Yeah.
Want
Now
me to
this
do that?
recipe calls sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and start stuffing.
So you already have some slits in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do a clove of garlic
A little bit of rosemary.
and just a little bit. Now, this is fresh rosemary.
Sure, fresh rosemary. We have
Oh.
6 sprigs. That's what the recipe calls
Oh.
for. So we're just
you
going to
just tuck
clean
it in
off.
there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just want to tuck that in there.
Okay. And some rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your along with this, he serves an incredible horseradish sauce, homemade, and he's going to make that for us today too. But this, you know, this is one of those meals that you go, wow, did you make that? Not you, because you make stuff like this. But if I were to present this,
Sure,
because
this is very impressive. If you want to make
Oh.
this for home, for a party,
My
if you're going to have a dinner
goodness.
party for 10, 15 people and you have them over, and you serve this, they will be
and you
very,
know what?
very impressed.
Like you're going to do this in the oven, and I don't think after you put it in the oven, there's much to do, right?
No.
And there's not
basically.
a whole lot here of prep that I can see that we're struggling with here. So
Actually, prime rib at our restaurant, we're very well known for our seafood and our fresh
Oh, yeah.
pastas and sauces and veal
your
dishes.
sauce is incredible.
But our prime rib is actually one of our best kept secrets.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Paul has anything to do with it, it won't be kept secret very long because he tells everybody. And you know, when it's on the marquee that this is a special, guess where he is? He's there getting it, you know. But okay, now you know, tell us a little bit about the restaurant.
We've been in business for about 42 years at that location. My father and grandfather started it. My whole family, all my brothers and sisters, all work in it
Everybody
together.
works.
We all work together.
Yep.
But my mom is probably the best cook out of all of us.
Best cook in the family.
Yeah, she really is.
She is such
Yeah,
a sweetheart,
she
and your
is.
dad too.
She's
I
a
just
saint.
love
My
both
mom
of
is a
them.
saint,
She is such a sweetie, and you know she is proud of each of you, and you know for what you do and what you
Sure,
accomplish.
yeah.
And I know that since your dad, you know, has kind of taken a little step back, you brothers are all running the place
Sure,
now.
yeah. And my
That's a
brothers
big
everybody
responsibility,
works
huh?
hard. I mean, all of them.
I'm telling you.
I'm proud of them all.
But you know what? It shows what togetherness can accomplish. When you're willing to work together, you get a lot done, right?
Sure,
And if
yeah.
you're fighting and pulling together, you don't get anything done. We all
Well, that
know
happens sometimes, you know.
Well,
yeah,
but that
yeah,
happens everywhere.
exactly.
So, all right, now
At
I
the
have
end of the
finished.
day, you know what? It's forgiveness. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
No matter what happens, and
Hey,
that's,
in any
that's life.
kind of relationship or anything you're doing, it's what it is.
Sure, that's
okay,
life.
now what are we going to do now on this?
And now what we want to do is we want to coat this with a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
That'll help sear the meat, and it also helps for any of the seasonings to adhere to it.
Oh, okay.
So basically what you want to do is just, we have about a
Am I
third cup
doing
of
this?
oil. Sure, yeah. Just rub it
just
around.
rubbing it?
Sure, rub it around. Get it all coated
Ooh,
nice.
gushy,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and this also gives a nice crispness
Sure,
to it,
yeah,
brownness to it.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of the rosemary we have left.
Okay.
We're just going to sprinkle that around.
Ah,
Okay.
rose goes back on,
Oh,
huh?
this is excellent.
That rosemary, when that hits the heat, though, doesn't that just
Oh, it's
erupt into a
beautiful,
flavor like you can't believe?
Yeah. Now we're going to take some kosher salt.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to do some nice kosher salt on there. Don't worry, you can.
You like the kosher
You hit it
better than
pretty
regular
good. Oh,
table
yeah.
salt, huh?
Yeah, it melts nicer.
Sure.
And then we're going to do this is fresh cracked pepper.
Black pepper. Oh.
Get that
Wow.
all nice and seasoned.
Beautiful.
Okay.
This is beautiful. You
Oh,
haven't even
yeah,
got it cooked
exactly.
yet. I love
Okay,
it.
now what we're going to do is we're going to put this whole thing on a rack in the oven.
Okay.
We're going to put a pan underneath to catch the drippings.
Okay.
Now what we do at the restaurant, we sear ours at 500 degrees for about half an hour, then we slow roast it at 350. But it causes a lot of smoke. We have commercial kitchens. We
Yeah,
have
it's
good
a little
exhaust.
different.
If they want to do this at home without the smoke, you can do it in a pan with some vegetables around, just conventional
Keep an
way
eye
you would
on
do a
it.
roast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it does take longer because you're not doing the 500.
exactly.
Okay, so we have the pan ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we're in the top or the bottom?
Top.
Top oven.
Yeah. Now what you want to do is just set this on your center rack. We have the pan underneath to
Oh,
catch the
I see.
drippings. Okay. You can hear it searing already.
Listen to that sizzle. Now, Okay, what do we have this set on?
Okay, this is 500.
500, okay. So 500 for a half hour if you can do it.
Sure.
And then you reduce it down to 354.
It all depends. I cooked one this morning. It took about 2 hours.
Okay,
what
but
you
you
want
also
to do is
use let's talk about
we use
that.
a meat thermometer, which I highly recommend.
Well, that's safety,
because
huh?
safety, and you get perfect temperature.
Right.
You want to cook this to about 120 in the center.
Okay.
That'll give you a nice medium rare in the
Medium
center.
rare, okay.
And then you're going to get well done on the ends. Now, another thing you can do is, a lot of people do this, is charbroil it. You can cut a nice piece off out of the center and put it on your charbroil, get the nice line marks.
Oh, jeez. Too many ways. This sounds too good. We're going to be right back with more. He's going to make a wonderful horseradish sauce and some potatoes to go with this meal. We'll be right back in just a minute.
Do you love watching At Home with Arlene Williams? Then be sure to check out our new YouTube channel. It's filled with classic episodes from over 20 years of At Home, and more videos are added each day. And don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home.
Well, the prime rib is in the oven roasting, and our special guest, Greg Antonelli from Woody's Restaurant and Catering. We didn't even talk about the catering service.
Yeah.
These guys, and I know more about the catering service side of your restaurant because that's what Paul's involved in. And I tell you what, you guys are so busy. Thank God.
It's a nice family business. It really,
really
is.
is.
And everybody just cares about what they're doing. You know,
Absolutely.
that means a lot.
And you put out a good product. You don't cut corners. You don't try to, pull back and give a lesser product.
Sure.
And your dad built it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah,
so you have a name to it and a reputation. Absolutely. Okay, so we have the prime rib cooking, and now we're going to do potatoes. Tell us about the potatoes.
What we're going to do a nice coated mustard tarragon potato, okay, which we're going to roast. We're going to use a baby red potato. They call it a bee red potato.
Okay.
And we're just going to peel a nice little slice around. Go ahead.
Should I do this?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, you're going to trust me, huh?
I have some fresh tarragon. No, you know how this smells.
I tell you what.
We have fresh tarragon. We have about 4 tablespoons of fresh tarragon, and we have 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley in there.
If you've never used fresh tarragon, you will not believe how sweet it smells. When you showed that to me, I couldn't believe it.
What we're going to do is you can use a Dijon mustard. What I have here is I have a whole grain mustard.
Oh, that's coarse,
okay?
yeah.
It makes it a little different. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the mustard.
Okay.
I have about 1/3 cup of olive oil, and I always use olive oil for stuff like this because it just has a nice high flash point and it has a great flavor.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You notice when I'm in the kitchen with a chef, somebody that knows what they're doing, I'm all thumbs. I can't even clean a little ring around that thing.
Oh, you do.
You're making me nervous.
You do a great job here.
Nah.
Okay, so what you want to do is you want to just make a nice coating with this.
Smell that. I wish you could smell the tarragon. I can't get over how sweet that is, Greg.
Yeah, it's great.
Jeez. Okay, now we're going to put these.
You just want to dump your potatoes in, and you want to just get a nice coating on them. So you almost do it like you would a pasta.
Oh, you're just tossing.
Sure,
Huh?
yeah, just toss them up.
Great. Try to keep them in a pan there, Greg.
Okay. Yeah, see how you get a nice
Beautiful.
coating on there?
Sure beats better than a spoon, huh?
Oh, sure, yeah. And what you want to do is go ahead and put your oil in.
Okay,
and we're going to put about a 1/4 cup of oil.
Cup?
Sure.
Just pour it in the bottom?
Pour it right in the bottom.
Because you got to have something for those to be cooking in the oven, right?
Yeah. And you want to sort of just
Make
shake them
sure.
around. Yeah, just get it so they don't stick when they
Right.
first start cooking. And you want to bake them to a nice golden brown. It takes about
Beautiful.
40 minutes.
Okay. And tell us why you did that with the white strip around there.
Well, it's for color, and it just gets a nice brown baking, especially with the mustard coating.
You know what else? When they bake, when they're little like that, if you don't, they sometimes shrivel up and they don't look nice.
Exactly.
But that red and white and then the green with it,
Oh, yeah.
totally Italian, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and you want these in single layer?
Yeah, single layer.
Okay. So that looks pretty much single layer. Now, we're going to do
yeah.
any seasonings on this?
No. Well,
Nothing here?
Sorry. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper.
Okay, so just sprinkle
so, yeah,
this
just sprinkle
around.
on top.
Tell us why you use this kind of salt. I know why, but tell.
Yeah, the kosher salt, like I said, I like it because it has especially when you cook, it just melts nice on there, and it's just nice and easy to use. Sure.
It's different. See here?
It's nice and
You
coarse.
almost can hear it like crunch when you pick it up, which you don't think of as salt doing that.
Exactly.
But it works beautifully. And then I go along with you, fresh ground
fresh
pepper.
ground pepper.
There's nothing like
Exactly.
that. It's just. Okay.
Now, when you bring these out, what you can do is you can just top them with some fresh parsley or even a little more fresh tarragon.
For garnish.
For
something
garnish,
like that.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So,
we're going to pop these right in the oven.
all right.
Okay.
Very good. Oh boy. There's all kind of stuff cooking in that there oven, I'll tell you. And we can't wait till the end of the show when we get to show you that. I hope that you're enjoying this today, and I hope that maybe it'll take some of the fear out of trying something like this. I know that cut of meat can be costly, but you can watch for specials and stuff, huh?
And not only that, Arlene, you can take a nice leg of lamb and do that with. Yeah. You can take a nice small pork roast.
Now, would you do this, stud it with the garlic, the same way as you've done this, rosemary and everything?
Yeah. Hit it with a little Worcestershire sauce if you
want
to.
Oh boy, okay. Okay, now what we're going to do
is we're going to do a nice horseradish sauce to accompany it, okay? We're going to use mayonnaise, sour cream, and prepared horseradish.
Prepared, okay.
Yeah. It's very simple.
Now you find this in the refrigerator case, right?
Exactly,
okay.
Now we're going to use I have a cup and a half of mayonnaise here, okay?
Greg, you remember the first thing you ever made when you were starting to cook?
I think I made a baked potato in a campfire.
A gourmet potato, no doubt, in a campfire.
And a hot dog on a stick.
Well,
actually, when we were young, we grew up in the kitchen.
Oh, sure, you have to.
So we were 10 years old, and we were slicing pepperoni and grinding cheese, and every Saturday we were in the kitchen. Okay, so
I tell you, your dad really, he built a nice place for y'all.
Okay, so we're going to add the horseradish.
Now, what kind of quantities are we talking about here?
There's a cup and a half of mayonnaise.
Okay.
A cup of sour cream.
Okay.
4 tablespoons of horseradish.
Horseradish.
Yeah, you want to do about a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce.
Okay.
Just get a little zing.
Worcester. Okay.
And then you want about a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Exactly.
That'll give it some punch.
Now what you want to do, just take a whip.
Just a nice little whisk.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Now this could be prepared a day ahead of time before you're going to do the dinner.
Okay. See, and I like things that you can make ahead of time. You don't have to worry about them at the last minute. I agree.
Now what I always do is just garnish this when you're done, put it in a nice bowl, and garnish it with a little bit of paprika.
Now what you want to do though is get those little lumps out of there, right?
Yeah,
to blend it till it's smooth. And then you serve this on the side, huh? Now, let's talk about the juices that are coming out of that roast. What do we do with those juices?
What you can do is you can actually make a brown sauce, brown gravy.
Okay.
You can make an au jus, which we serve. We serve an au jus.
Yeah, that's great.
You can take the bones from the prime
rib.
rib.
Ask the butcher for
Sure, exactly. You want to
not?
roast those, and you want to make a nice beef stock. Add your drippings to that, and it's a perfect au jus.
You know what I would
You
love?
can reduce it down and make a demi-glaze, which we do. We do when we do lamb, we do that. We'll do a mint demi-glaze. We'll use fresh mint, cook that stock down, and make a nice mint demi-glaze.
I tell you what else, and this is the English. This is like if Paul could get this at your restaurant, if there was a Yorkshire pudding to go with that prime rib, he would think he died and went to heaven.
Well, we'll have to do that.
We'll have to do that sometime. But that's, that lets the juices drop on that, and that's awesome. Well, I think this is very simple. We only have a few more minutes on that. When we come back, we're going to show you how that you can carve this. So, that's one of the things that bothers me. Sure. You do this wonderful roast, you get to the table, you carve it, and it looks like a massacre has just happened. We don't want that. We want it to look nice. So we'll be back in just a minute. Here's how to get today's recipes.
Just go to ctvn.org/athome to get all the recipes from today's show for free. That's right, no subscriptions. They're available online at no cost, and more are being added each day. So join us at ctvn.org/athome to get today's recipes now.
Tell us about your website.
Sure, we have a website. We've had it up for years, and it's www.woodiescatering.com.
There it is.
It's our logo.
Right there, woodiescatering.com.
Sure. And we have a lot of our banquet halls. We have pictures that flash in and out of the halls decorated.
So you can get a real visual.
Sure, we have menus on there. We have our restaurant menus on there.
Wonderful.
Specials.
Phone number and everything.
Phone number and everything, yeah.
That's what you want to do then to be sure to get all the information that you'd like to about Woody's. Well, here we are. I tell you, I wish you could be here because there's more people. Well, there's a lot of people in the studio that aren't normally here. Let me just say it that way.
I think the smell just lofted out.
I think so. Yeah. Now, show us what this is and tell us why.
We did an internal temperature of 120. Okay, that's a nice medium rare. Exactly. You always want to use a meat thermometer because that way there you know for sure.
And that's an instant read too.
Sure, exactly.
Just pop it in and it comes
You don't want to
out.
cut into a nice piece of meat like this or overcook it.
Yeah.
So this always gives you the true temperature. Okay.
And then you can keep abreast with it as it's cooking too.
Sure,
keep checking it out.
Yeah. Now what we did is we sliced down the middle because this is where you're going to get your medium rare. If you want to get more medium to well, you're going to do your end cut. Sure, exactly. Okay.
That'd probably be me right there.
Yeah.
Okay, now look at this.
Here we go. Nice cut there.
And honest, this is about the size of cut you get when
Sure.
when you're at Woody's.
That's about a 12-ounce cut right there.
Is that 12 ounce?
Sure.
And look how completely done it is. Beautiful out here, all around, and then it's rare in there. Now, we're going to do some of the horseradish on the side. Okay, we'll just drop that on the side.
See, Arlene, one thing is, see the cloves of garlic right up in there?
Look at that.
Yeah, it just fell out. See how they fall out?
Those are the ones we stuffed before,
those are the ones we stuffed in. Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. And then we're going to add one or two of our roasted. Look at these beautiful potatoes. Wow.
You can smell that tarragon,
Oh,
too.
my. What more could you want? This is awesome. This is unbelievable.
You can garnish with a nice sprig of rosemary.
Sprig of rosemary.
Take a little bit of parsley.
Just drop a little parsley around the edge.
It's beautiful.
Jeez, this is just incredible.
If you do that for a dinner party, your guest will
They'll be talking
thank you
about this
forever.
time next year.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely. You know, every time we go, Paul keeps talking about it. It doesn't change. Now, if you wanted to do, like say somebody comes in and you don't have the well done left. Do you take a piece of that and maybe grill it a little bit or
we can
something?
either grill it or we can even drop it in a little bit of au jus, steam it in a little bit of au jus.
That brings
sure,
it to
yeah, exactly. Get that nice.
This has been such fun. Thank you
great.
so much.
It's
You're
always
always
great.
you're
We always
always
have
so
a
good. Yeah,
blast.
we do. We really do. And we're always glad when you drop by. And I hope you have gained some knowledge about a prime rib and no threat, no intimidation cooking here at home. Be sure to join us the next time because it just wouldn't be the same without you. We'll see you then.
Food provided by McGinnis Sisters Special Food Stores in Brentwood and Monroeville. Taste the world.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home. Thank you for watching.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.